Once again, things in Gotham are getting worse for the dynamic duo. Vandal Savage wants nothing more than to turn the entire police force and the population against Batman and Robin. But his sabotage attempts and his commissioner position are running out of time because a little detail happened and it's going to be the end for him. Plus, let's check out everything that's going on with Batman himself, including the new Batsuit the hero is rocking in this issue. A lot of news, right? So let's dive in. In Gotham City, a kid named Houston Gray is working on a school project that involves interviewing his mom about the changes that have happened in Gotham. She talks about how much has changed, like the fact that now everyone has a cell phone and no one helps anyone anymore. Except, Batman. Suddenly, they hear gunshots from outside. Houston rushes to the window and sees Batman and Robin getting into the Batmobile. This happened right at the end of issue 2, but now from a different perspective. While Batman and Robin were dealing with the two police officers, this kid was filming everything. Houston records with his phone as the dynamic duo jumps into the car. After that, he sees the bodies of the police officers on the ground. Later, the spot has become a crime scene. From his apartment, Houston keeps recording, including when Commissioner Vandal Savage places a batarang at the crime scene to frame Batman. At the hospital, Vandal Savage is there trying to get Officer Davis to say that Batman was involved in what happened. But the cop lies, saying that he didn't even see the bat. This ticks him off so much that he nearly killed the officer out of rage. The commissioner leaves, and also at the hospital is Bruce Wayne. He's got a bouquet of flowers for Tim Drake, who was injured in the previous issue. When Bruce enters Tim's room, he finds Bernard, who is trying to figure out how Tim got so hurt. As soon as Bernard sees him, he asks Wayne to let Tim Burkhardt alone. Bernard finds it suspicious that everything Tim goes out with Bruce on weekends, he comes back hurt. Feeling offended, Bernard takes the flowers and leaves. Meanwhile, there's a debate on TV with Hugo Strange and Dr. Seller. They're discussing treatment methods for criminals. She mentions a device that messes with a patient's fear to the point of resetting their brain. This is part of a program funded by Wayne Enterprises. Dr. Seller assures that the project is independent. This might be backed by a mega corporation like Wayne Enterprises. Hugo Strange feels insulted by this project and gets up from the table. Dr. Seller doesn't let Hugo's insults get to her, and she seems to win this television debate. Next, we jump back to Bruce, who's now training with Damian. The truth is, Bruce has been a bit distracted lately. Bruce mentions that Damian got accepted into Gotham University. Yup, and Damian Wayne is already heading to college. And remember, we met him back when he was just a kid trained by the League of Assassins, taking out criminals. But hold up, before you start feeling old, there wasn't any time skip. Actually, Damian got accepted into college 4 years early to his genius level, but he doesn't want to go to college. Bruce tells him there's a whole world out there for him to discover. His son replies that he knows how to fight, knows medicine and criminology, knows it all. But Bruce reminds him that there are other important things out there, like literature, poetry, and even girls. It's totally okay to be scared of the world outside. This irritates Damian, who then delivers a low blow to his dad. That one hurt, right? Robin storms out, mad, and Bruce reflects with the projection of Alfred. Just so you know, this Alfred isn't a hologram. It's actually a hallucination Bruce is having. He's doing this to talk to Alfred himself. Later, Officer Gordon calls his buddy Bullock, who now has a private investigation agency. Gordon wants his friend to signal because something's up with Savage's actions. Bullock, though reluctant, grabs the makeshift signal, which is a cute little bat, and puts it in the window. Far from there, at Wayne Enterprises, Bruce is in a meeting. Wayne doesn't allow the company to invest in weapons, even if it could boost profits by 240%. Then he takes the chance to ask about Dr. Zeller's device. No one really gives our hero any useful info, so he wraps up the meeting and heads out to investigate more. That night, Batman responds to Bullock's signal, who complains about all the tax money that's been spent just to keep that old signal at the precinct. That scene was pretty funny. Gordon then informs him about the changes proposed by Savage. The commissioner is going to leak info to the press that Batman is a cop killer. In other words, Batman will soon be at war with the police. The Bat just says that everything new was just old again. On the rooftop, they notice a patrol car from Savage's special squad almost run over an old lady. That definitely shows how Savage's special squad doesn't give a damn about Gotham's safety. Batman takes that opportunity to vanish into thin air with his classic disappearing act. At Wayne's Enterprises and Harborview, which is the experimental science department, the Riddler is there to steal Dr. Zeller's device. Edward Nygma easily disables the security system and grabs the device, which coincidentally looks a lot like the X-Men Cerebro. Out of nowhere, he's caught off guard by a punch from Batman, who appears wearing his new stealth suit. The Bat says he's pretty disappointed in Edward since the Riddler had turned his life around. He even started a business and was making money from it. But Nygma jumps on Batman, and there's not much Edward can do against the vigilante. All he does is riddle off some puzzles that Batman easily solves. He only skips the last one and lets Edward reveal it. The villain looks really confused and pulls a piece of paper from his pocket to hand to Batman. It's another riddle that even Batman can't figure out. Edward says his head hurts and just wants to stop. Finally, the hero injects the villain with a sedative that knocks him out almost instantly. Batman then starts connecting the dots since Killer Croc also complained about headaches, and now the Riddler is saying the same thing. This isn't a coincidence. Meanwhile, at a restaurant in downtown Gotham, we see that kid from earlier approaching a journalist. This guy lives in the same building as Houston Grado. The kid is there to show something that could be a big news story, and it definitely gets the reporter's attention. Back to Batman, he's taking the Riddler back to Arkham. Edward is slightly conscious and even says that Hugo Strange had nothing to do with this. He throws out another riddle, and with Alfred's help in his head, Bruce deduces that the riddle is actually an anagram for Arkham. That's right, Arkham Tower. And he's already figured out that Dr. Zeller is using that device on the patient in Arkham. Guys, now we can kind of get a clearer sense of the direction Matt Fraction is going with this Batman comic universe. He presents a conflict where Commissioner Savage wants to wage war against Batman and Robin, planting evidence against them, which is classic villain behavior. However, another important theme being tackled here is Batman's mental health. Sure, this topic has been handled before, but it seems like the writer wants to explore this issue even deeper. In the first issue, there was a confrontation between Batman and Killer Croc, where it was clear that Batman isn't doing well. Even when he tells Crocodile that he's fine, his actions and the end of the issue show he's in a delicate state. He talks to Alfred, who is a projection of his mind. Plus, in this third issue, another element comes into play, the Stormcrown machine created by Dr. Zeller. The discussion between Hugo Strange and Zeller seems significant for the future of the series, hinting that Matt Fraction wants to bring to light how Batman deals with his mental issues. With Dr. Zeller's statements, it's revealed that with the Stormcrown, maybe Batman can find some mental peace. And who knows, he could intensify his work as Gotham's vigilante. Even the Riddler, who's usually seen as a villain, is presented in a way that reflects Batman's issues. It's not just about being antagonists, it's about how these villains drive the protagonist's development.
We're seeing a Batman who is quite emotional, and sooner or later, he'll have to deal with the loss of Alfred. Plus, of course, the story has its humorous moments. You can see Batman interacting with Bullock and Gordon, using his classic skill of vanishing during conversations. And there's also that line from Bullock about the old bat signal. That was pretty entertaining. Moreover, another great aspect from the writer and artist is the perception of Gotham's populace toward Batman. He's not seen as a problem, but as a symbol of hope. When the kid talks to his mom, it's clear that Batman is someone who's there to help. The way the creative team utilizes technology in Gotham to show these various perspectives feels really innovative to me. There was also another important moment when Bernard questioned whether Bruce was hurting Tim, since the kid always comes back hurt from the wizards. This could turn into a future arc, leading to questions about how Bruce influences those around him. As for the art, there's not much more to say other than Jorge Jimenez is exceptional at his craft. I've mentioned his work multiple times on this channel, and once again, he delivered something really good. I feel that in the future, Jorge Jimenez's Batman will be even more recognized as one of the most sensational illustrations of the character. Guys, the atmosphere is intensifying in Gotham, and as soon as the next issue drops, we'll bring you a full story with a detailed review. So if you don't want to miss any updates on Batman's comics, make sure to hit that bat like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bat notification bell. That's the only way you'll get alerted when the next scoop drops. Thanks a ton for hanging out with us. And if you're out of the loop on what's been happening in this new phase of Batman, click here on this video on your screen, or check the description or pinned comment.